Hey, what's going on, everybody? Nick Rizzo here, StrivenLife.com. And so this next week or two, I'm not really sure how far ahead how far along I'll be doing this, but I really want to start talking a lot about entrepreneurs. We'll talk a lot about ADHD and then entrepreneurs with ADHD, and a lot of topics that just seem really important to kind of touch upon for all of us regarding that. And so the first thing I want to talk about today is, what is your ADHD story? Just to kind of give you a little background introduction to myself, sometimes it's important to take ownership of our story, how we ended up finding out we had ADHD, and how it impacted us beforehand and stuff like that. So for me, after 4 years of high school, I was graced with the ever beloved title in the yearbook of most argumentative. And I had some fond memories of teachers who told me things like I was raised by wolves, or my personal favorite, you will never make it anywhere in life, and I would be surprised if you made it to a 2-year community college. Now, mind you, that last quote has always stuck in my head, and that came from me disagreeing with the teacher's opinion on the symbolism in "the sun also rises." So doesn't really seem too warranted. But in the classroom, it wasn't like I was like a major asshole or something like that. I just wanted to be heard. I wanted to discuss the topics. I wanted to be engaged. I craved that intellectual stimulation. And so in high school, it doesn't usually suit you very well, because a lot of teachers want to be in the position where everything they say is correct. Discussion means you disagree and that you're wrong, and it doesn't end up going in the right place. And sometimes they would say some negative or uncalled things to me, which at the time I was a little angsty teen, so I would also kind of come back at them, sometimes something a little bit worse. After I left high school, I found myself in college doing damn well, because I was doing something I was interested in. I was passionate about it. But the thing is, every assignment took me like forever, drastically longer than my classmates or my friends to do. And it didn't matter to me, though, because like my drive and my goal was unparalleled. If there was something I wanted to accomplish, I did that endlessly until I got to it. And that was the only way I was able to do really well in college, and the only way I was able to be successful in college in extracurriculars and internships and stuff like that. Then came that day that, my life up until that point started to make sense. There was about 3 weeks left in college, and in my last month of my senior year of college, and I ended up getting diagnosed with ADHD. It was honestly kind of funny, because everything up until that point in my life started to make sense. Wait, this is the reason why I can't remember simple little tasks. This is the reason why I forget what we're talking about halfway through a conversation. This is the reason why a simple math problem might take me 30 minutes longer than the average person in my class, because I would lose track. I would get confused, or I would just kind of forget what I was doing or what step I was on or things like that. And that process of finding out that this was the diagnosis, that this is what I have. It wasn't a depressing thing. It wasn't a sad thing. A lot of people, they get slapped with a label about a diagnosis as you have this or you have that, and it's like, oh, well, woe is me. And trust me, I understand completely. I feel you on it, right? It's disheartening when you get labeled with something like ADHD or bipolar or anxiety, because you feel like you're not like everyone else. But the thing is, let that empower you, because now you've just taken an extra step forward. What's going on, Kevin? What's going on, Christina? You're taking an extra step forward to being able to understand yourself on a deeper level, right? Like, that's so empowering and powerful and useful for you to know, all right, well, if this is what I want to go and do, or this is something I want to excel at or succeed at, well, I know what this is that I have now. And I know that there's most likely resources or people or articles or books or something that you can go out and learn about this thing that you've been labeled with, which for me was ADHD, and be able to actually learn how to improve through it, to grow because of it, to leverage this label that we have in order to benefit us. And that's why I wanted to share the story with you guys today, because over the next week or two, I'm going to be digging deep into the content, the topic of ADHD, the stigma, the benefit, like realizing our gift of having ADHD, not as a flaw. Start talking to going about ways that we can use and leverage our gifts that come with ADHD, and ways to optimize our surroundings, our environment, and our businesses when it comes to ADHD in order to empower you. And these are all things that I've been doing. I've been digging deep into understanding my ADHD and learning how to grow through it over the past 2 years. And it has made a tremendous difference in my life, especially for sure as hell in my business. And I kind of just want to walk through that journey of myself with you guys to kind of, you know, show you that a label for a diagnosis doesn't define you. A label for a diagnosis just gives you more information, more clarity on who you are, what you're working with, and allows you to know what steps to start taking forward to consistently and continuously grow and strive for success in all aspects of life. So I'll be back on here tomorrow. Really, this is kind of a hard topic for me to talk about tomorrow because it kind of hits home a little bit for me emotionally, but about the stigma of ADHD and how it feels for us who have ADHD to kind of be in the society and the way people view it, talk about it, and talk about the people that have it. But until then, if you're interested, this is something that is actually kind of funny because I didn't even think about this. The free 5-day strategic goal mapping for massive clarity, focus, and momentum in your business challenge kicks off October 24th. And it's funny because that has been one of the things I'm teaching in that challenge course is actually things that have amplified my ability to be more successful in my business with my ADHD. So even if you have it or don't have it, that is an awesome opportunity to kind of check out, click on, see if you're interested. And if you are, sign up. I'd love to have you in there. Kicks off October 24th. But until tomorrow, guys, I will be talking about stigma of ADHD and then starting to dig into entrepreneurship and having ADHD and how we can start to use it to leverage to build more momentum and more growth in our businesses. But until then, this has been Nick Rizzo, StrivenLife.com. I'll see y'all tomorrow.